let's flip this over and get started on the top side of the playfield. We got it flipped over, and now we need to start tearing our playfield apart so we can start working on it and getting it all cleaned up and touched up. There's some. In other words, there's quite a bit to do on it. It's filthy. Hopefully a lot of this comes off and comes clean. If you're wondering, I have it in an old cabinet that I had sitting over here. Since I'm still working on that, by now you've already seen the cabinet finished up, hopefully. But what we need to do is we need to get this all tore down. I do know we have to fix our ball guide here. See, it's broke right off, and somebody tried putting a screw in front of it so it would stay. So once we get that off, we got to fix that. And I'm still waiting on an apron. Still haven't found an apron yet, but we may have one. This cabinet that I have the playfield sitting in right now is another Chicago coin, but I think it might be too far gone even for me to fix. I'll decide later what I'm gonna do. Maybe we might go over it at some point, and I'll show you what the hell is missing on it. But I'll get you set up, and we'll get this tore down and see what our playfield looks like after we get everything all tore off of it. Yeah, I got everything off of it that I'm gonna take off of it. And, you know, actually it's not really as bad, you know, maybe, as what you think. The worst part is right down around in here, as usual, and the bonus area. I'm not worried about inserts. The double bonus is a green, and the 10 should be one of those opaque or whatever. I'll change all of our bonus in a 10, of course, and the double, we'll put a green in there. I'm going to leave these ones because they have the stickers, the same with our star. I'm going to leave those alone, and I'll probably go ahead and leave the specials alone. When I start putting in inserts, I'll see about those two. But, you know, under here, these are our 4 kicker holes. We have S, T, A, and R. You can see our R is totally gone. A is just about gone, and they really need some help around a lot of our inserts. But overall, it's not terrible. I mean, I've done a lot worse, and I'm pretty sure I have a lot worse too to do. Okay, just for the hell of it, the cabinet I'm using is top 10. Chicago Coins top 10. Our neck's broke. It's got a broke neck, which is no big deal. We can, you know, that's easy to fix. But this machine has a score motor missing, and the coin relay is missing on it. No lockdown bar. But our cinema is missing the apron, but we have the lockdown bar. There's the apron that'll fit, only it's yellow. I could put the yellow apron on it along with the yellow top, but, and I just, man, there's so much missing on this top 10. You know, the back glass is totally trashed. There's $300 right there, gone. You got coils missing, flippers missing, links. All that stuff's missing on this one. But I just have a hard time parting out a pinball machine, even though it's that bad. But anyway, now we got it down this far. I'm gonna go ahead and use a mild detergent and wipe it down, and we'll see how it cleans up, because then we'll alcohol it and magic eraser it. But I want to get some of the dirt off of it, so we're not grinding it in when we're using magic eraser. This is going to be a lot of work in through here. Got a lot of yellow missing, and a little bit of our numbers, but boy, that wear weird. You know, I'm not worried. The numbers I can put in, and you know, if I have to, I can paint the whole yellow back in. I just hate painting numbers, because it always looks like a little 2-year-old did it. Down here, I have an idea. The shellac that's missing That's gonna have to stay missing. We'll have to clear coat this one, because I know after I scrub the hell out of it, it's gonna, we're stripping it down to nothing, right down to the paint. So it's gonna have to be clear coated, which I don't mind doing because they need it anyway. We're missing a little bit of our design, this design here. And when we get into painting, I'll show you what I'm going to do to fix that. The double, we can get that back in. That's not a problem. But, actually overall, it's not terrible. It's not as bad as what I thought it was going to be. We have some cracked plastics, but I can't, you can't find plastics for Chicago coins. So we're going to have to live with some cracked plastics. They're not bad. Let's see. See, we have one little hunk missing out of there, which is really no big deal. Our long side ones are pretty good. Get over there. This one, nope, that's our center. And see, there it is. Yeah, the center piece has one crack in it there. But we can live with that too. And same with the other long one. It has a crack there. And we can live with that. Plastics are presentable. We'll clean them up, and the, little crack here and there, I can live with a little crack. But, at least they're all present. We have them all. So I think that's gonna do it for this episode. We got the bottom side all taken care of the Playfield, and now we got the top side all tore down, and we're ready to start cleaning and touching up. We're going to get this cleaned up today in this episode, and we're going to start working on touching it up. I should be able to get all of that done in one episode. Everybody knows how I clean these with alcohol and a magic eraser, and I'll bring you back in from time to time and show you, the progress of. And that's old. You know what that is? That's old rubber gunk. Yep. Same here. That's old rubber gunk. There was a rubber that laid on the Playfield for the longest time, and they kind of have a tendency sometimes to degrade or melt or whatever, and that's what this one was. Probably broken. It was laying across the slingshot. But that should, all that crud should all come off. Now what I'll do first is, since this one is so dirty, that I will take a mild detergent and just wipe it down and get a lot of this, try and get some of the heavy stuff off of this. So when I start using the magic eraser, I'm not grinding in the dirt into the paint. We want to clean the paint. We don't want to make it worse. And hopefully I'm going to try and clean these up. I don't know if they're going to clean up or not. May have to paint. We'll see. See how they clean up. A lot of this is just soot from the bulb. And this is just ball gunk. Yeah, that's right. You got gunk all over your balls. So we got to get that cleaned up too. But we should be able to brighten this up quite a bit. A lot of the yellow, we're going to be working on a lot of the yellow. It may come down to painting this whole area, because I think this is may look too blotchy. So I'm going to have to figure out how I want to do the numbers, if I want to copy them or just try and freehand it, which freehand and numbers kind of, let's just face it, it sucks. So let's see what else we got to do in here. See, these have those sticky mylar protectors under the pop bumpers. This one had started peeling up at one time, and somebody, cut it off, and then pop bumper wore down that spot. Or when they pulled that little hunk of mylar off, it pulled the paint and everything off of it too. Thank God that's on the other side of the pop bumper, and with the skirt and everything on there, you won't really see it, but we're gonna touch it up. And there's some more of my favorite purple. Looks like the same purple was on the last one I screwed up. Yes, I screwed it up. I'll admit it. I still don't like it. Every time I look at it, But anyway, we got a little bit of purple in here, there, some red there, yellow, blue, and of course black. Missing inserts. Well, these are rollovers here, but got a couple missing inserts. We will definitely get some decent inserts for in here. We're missing that little one too, so it's going to come down to changing all of them, to make it look right anyway. We may go with clear, or we may go with something else. We want something else, so we may go with something else in here. That's our double bonus. Those are always green, so we can put a green one in there, and these will all be the same color. Rollovers, and that's a rollover too up top here. Yeah, I like sticking my finger in holes. The S we'll leave alone, because it's got the S on it and it still looks good. Same with our star. Star looks good, and all of our lettering's good on there, so we'll probably leave those alone. And same with when lit. No, that one's falling out. We'll change when lit. We really don't need to worry about it saying when lit, because it just, same player shoots again, and I'm sure most people would see if that's lit, oh, look, it's lit, we get an extra ball. Okay. Specials, we may leave those, may not. I have some nice red ones that would go in there and look really, really sharp, and then that would give us new inserts from the hole, from the R hole down. That would kind of make it all blend, whatever you want to call it. It would just look proper. It would look the proper way of doing things. We got some white in here to do. I'll still have to do some letters. Got STA, and there should be an R in there with our arrow. You can see these holes get pretty beat to hell. I think a lot of these got beat up from that bottom plate being busted, and it throwing the ball kind of off to the side, and it's going to chew up a lot of this, and it beat up our plastic a little bit, not much, but a little bit. We'll have to keep an eye on that to make sure that it doesn't keep hitting the plastic when it kicks the ball. We just want it to kind of fall up over into the next hole. But this is really a neat feature, I think, the 4-hole. And if you drop in the top, it'll just kick it out from the top one. But so you have to put it up through the bottom and it'll light your star. So that's what we're doing. We're going to clean and we're going to touch up in this episode. So let me wipe this down a little bit and we'll take a gander at it and see how much of it I can take up with just a little mild detergent. See if I can get some of this dirt off of it. Which, God, that's that black rubber or ball gunk on it. Yep, this poor machine had gunky balls. It had a gunky ball. That's right. Alright, let me wipe this down and we'll see how it looks after I get it wiped down. I wiped it down, but it didn't take off much. But it got a little bit off of it anyway. So now what we're going to do is I use 91% isopropyl alcohol and magic eraser. I get my magic eraser wet with alcohol and then I just scrub. And a lot of this should come out. Now, I tell everybody this every time I do this on my playing fields, is this is like sandpaper. So you have to be careful as to how much you scrub in one spot. If you scrub too much in one spot, you will go all the way through the paint. You will take paint off. Pretty much that's, what you're doing is you're taking this layer of crud off of the Playfield, which is probably the clear coat that's on it. You can see how dirty that is. So we will just and we will just very gently start working at it. Now, some of it you have to get after it, but like I said, be careful as to how much you do get after it, or you will go through the paint. And we don't want to do that because we want to save as much as we can. There's already enough here to work on touching up. We don't want to have to touch up any more than what we have to. But we do have to get this it's either from the rubbers laying on here degrading onto the Playfield, and this up in here, a lot of this is ball gunk. Like I said, this poor machine had a gunky ball, and a lot of that too is from just not being cleaned in regular intervals, and maintaining it. A lot of these machines, when they were made, they made them figuring that they were going to stay on location like 4 to 5 years. And if you have noticed, if you've worked on any of these before on the solid states and all that, even the battery in there, some of them are still the original battery on the MPU, and some of them were changed. Like if it's a 78, it was changed in 80. So you figured, okay, it was 3 years, and that guy, probably the operator, figured he'd be able to get 3 or 4 more years out of it. And that's about how long it stayed out on location, and then it went back in the warehouse because it just wasn't making money, and they didn't know what the hell to do with them. They bought and paid for them, and some of the operators would sell them, for home use. But usually if they were sold for home use, everything was taken out of them, all the coin mechanisms, and a lot of times the coin relay, or they did some other things to them, so you couldn't buy it from the operator and then take it and put it in a store and start making money off of that machine. He wants to put his machine in that store to make money. He doesn't want to sell you one so you can go make money. So there was just different things that they could do to make sure that it wouldn't take quarters anymore or whatever. All right, enough of me rambling here. Let's clean a little bit of this and let's see how it's going to come out. I'll do like I normally do. I'll show you this little area here. I'll get this all cleaned up, and we'll see if I can get the ball gunk off of it, and we'll see how it looks when I'm done. Okay, that cleaned up pretty good. And I started getting up in here a little bit, you know, and it's a lot smoother. It usually is. Start knocking off a lot of that crap. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to clean. I'll clean this bottom. Oop, let me get you out here a little way. There we go. I'm going to clean this bottom section up to the rollovers and the 2 drop targets. I'll clean up to there, and then I'll bring you in and show you how that all looks after we get all that done. And we'll just, you know, we'll just keep working our way up the playfield until we're done. Should be able to get this done this evening before I go in. Hopefully. Well, it's going to be done anyway before I go in. I hate stopping halfway. Let me get busy. We'll get this cleaned up and see what it looks like when it's all cleaned. We'll do this bottom half, like I said, and then I'll bring you back in and I'll show you what it looks like down here. Now, I cleaned, like I said, from the first drop target all the way across and down. Some of it, you know, some of it's cleaning up pretty good. The yellow, there's just so much of it gone that it's, you know, it did brighten it up. I did get a lot of the dirt off of it, so we'll just have to see when we start touching the yellow up. I know I'm not going to be able to match a dirty yellow. So we'll see what I can do there. I might touch it up, might paint the whole thing. We'll see. And yes, I'm wearing rubber gloves because I'm tired of that goop being stuck all over my hands for a week and not wanting to come off. So rubber gloves this time. And as you can see, that rubber gunk, ball gunk, I think it's rubber residue is coming off. Got it all cleaned off in front of the kicker. Both kickers. Up around the special. It's all cleaned up. I might have to do a little bit more around that one, but it looks pretty good. Let's see, I was getting after this yellow pretty good, and you can see I got some yellow on my magic eraser, so that, you know, I was getting down into that as deep as I could, and when I started seeing yellow I quit. That means I stripped all the clear coat off of it and I'm all the way down to the paint, and now I'm going through the paint, so I quit. Alright, so I don't have to keep touching my camera with gunky hands. I'm going to go ahead and clean the rest of this. We'll get it all cleaned up, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. You can see how. I'll give you a before. You can see the gunk on it. It doesn't wipe off. All around the mulberry bush, no, pop bumper. A monkey chases a weasel. And same with right around in here. We'll get this all cleaned up and I'll bring you back, show you what it looks like when we're done. That's as much as I'm gonna scrub on it. I don't dare go any deeper on it, but you can see mostly all of it came clean. Clean, clean, clean. I went ahead and I took paper towel, alcohol, and wiped it all down. Got all the magic eraser gunk off of it. So you can see it. Wasn't much left, laying on it, because I do a little area and then I wipe it off with a paper towel or one of these shop rag things. I work on it and then I can wipe it off, and that way I can keep my area clean and there's not as much cleanup afterwards. It's like a bowling ball. But it cleaned up pretty nice. For a 76, I think the Playfield's in good shape for a 1976. What are we, 45 years old? Damn, I wish I was 45 again. But now our next task in getting this Playfield all squared away is touch up. And right now it's time for me to go in for the evening, and we will pick this up tomorrow evening and start working on getting this touched up the way it touched up as good as I can do. I'll put it that way. So I'll be back tomorrow evening. For you, it'll just be an instant, and I'll be right back and we'll be talking about it again. So I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. I love making these. So I'll see you on the next one. See ya.